morning. So I went to work this morning and I got to leave. I'm excited about that. I get a day off. I worked the COVID unit all weekend, so they gave me a break today. Trust me, I'm thankful for that because that COVID unit is hell. But we are going to talk about the Queen Cup collar. And bear with me, I'm driving, but I'm also driving a stick shift, so yeah. Ooh, the potholes are ridiculous in Kansas City. So we are going to talk about Queen Cup collar. You know, I can't say, I cannot say that I feel sorry for anybody who's going through it with this chick. I can't say I feel sorry for you. And I definitely do not feel sorry for her. You know, I find it funny that she's the reason why Mike Mills turned on me to begin with because I was going at her. Because I couldn't take it anymore. Like I was on a panel with her and Mike, and when they got into that whole, uh, and I believe it was actually her that had brought it up that night, and that's what made me snap. When they were, talking about another content creator, and they brought up the whole child sexery stuff, and then she was going on and on about her normal, rape stuff, and I couldn't take it. I could not take it no more, so I snapped on her. I snapped on her. And then Mike Mills turned on me for that. And look at you now. Good morning, Rhonda. And look at y'all now. I've been, you know, uh, I've been here since she stepped on the scene, and I have said since day one that this girl was problems. This girl was not all there in the head. This girl has too much going on. We're all messy. We are all messy, 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 messy. But this chick is above and beyond messy. Like above and beyond messy. You actually calling the police on these men. And, like I told her, I've been on panels with her, and I have tried to tell her, like, you can't, you cannot, like, be mad about shit that you put out there. Like, me, even for myself, like, I put some things out there, and I cannot be mad whenever things that I put out there get put back out on me because shit, I did it taking a risk. And like I told this little girl so many times, anytime you do something where social media is involved, anytime you do something when you're like um going through whenever you do things sneaky like that, you can't be mad when the stuff turns around and comes back on you, because sometimes what you put out there will come back and bite you in the ass. So you need to be careful about what you put out there into the atmosphere. And like I said, even for myself, I can't be mad at some of the videos that I put out there. I can't be mad at some of the pictures that I put out there because I did it taking a risk. Then you ran to RGR and the bum turned on you. First of all, I never ran to RGR. Let's get it corrected. Never once did I ever claim, and I think that LA will even admit to this. Never once did I ever claim that I was RGR or an RGR member. I never once said anything like that. Yeah, I went over and I was talking to Lamar because the person that they were talking about was Lamar, and I knew for a fact that she was lying. I knew for a fact that Lamar never did what she claimed that she was claiming that he put her minor pictures out on the internet or whatever. And I knew that that wasn't true. I knew that that was not true, that Lamar had actually never done that. And even though at the time, me and Lamar was not cool, me and Lamar was not getting along, me and Lamar were roasting each other all the time, I knew for a fact that she was lying on him. And so I went over to talk to him about the subject. So it has, I mean, come on, dude. you was RGR. We all saw it. No, you didn't. Oh, come on, man. You are fucking ridiculous, dude. Never once did I ever throw up an RGR in a chat room. If you can find where I ever did, I fucking put it out there. Because I'm telling you, I never once threw up RGR in a chat room. I never once said that I was on RGR. Lamar never once said that I was an RGR member. So you get it twisted. Just because two people can talk and converse and not argue and fight all the time does not mean that they are on the same team. It just means for that time being they're being copacetic and they're getting along with each other. It doesn't make them a team. It doesn't make them a team. But I knew that when she was speaking on Mike's platform against LA and she was making accusations against LA, I knew those accusations were not true. Exactly, Rhonda. I'm glad you brought that up because I was just getting ready to talk about that. So there was another time on Mike's platform where it was me and it was Jamila. It was just me and Jamila, and we were being stupid, we were being silly, we were being goofy, and we were doing like a body contest, right? And it was just me and Jamila. And then all of a sudden, here comes Talia wearing a sports bra and a white pair of pants trying to put her own body on camera. Like, bitch, who invited you into this? She couldn't take the fact that, like, Jamila and I were doing something like that and she was getting no attention from it. So she had to throw herself in the mix. It only proves how thirsty she is. And every time that I have done something, this chick has came out and tried to quote unquote do it better. All right, so Big JX says, "Where's Lashid for you's racist ass on this?" That's all I need to say. Later, right, 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 Big J. But I have to do this though. I do have to do this, and I don't like Lashid for you. I think that I there's a lot of things I think in that situation. However, I did actually hear a playback where Lashid was trying to kind of like tell Talia that what she was doing was wrong. Talia, or Queen or Lashid for you did try to tell Talia that like the things that she was doing and calling the police and the things that she was saying, she did try to tell her she was wrong for that. Um, but you're right, Big J. I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. Exact. Oh wow, Rose Sector, you actually came out and said something. Yes, she did jump on there. It had nothing to do with her. It was between me and Jamila, and then all of a sudden, she jumps on there in a sports bra and a white pair of pants. And I'm just looking like, did she really just do that? Like, who? And then she sat there. She sat there like on a stool or in a chair or something. She just sat there quiet, didn't say a word. She stood up, she kind of paraded around the camera, and then she just sat there with her little belly hanging out. But like I've been saying it, and I love it. This is like sweet, sweet, sweet revenge for me. I love this. I'm loving it. I'm not loving what she's doing because what she is doing is completely wrong. What she is doing is so fucking wrong, and she needs to be stopped. Absolutely, she needs to be stopped. Like I'm hoping that the police will actually turn around and do something to her for harassing them. However, where I find this as sweet revenge is because she's doing everything I said she was going to do. And the whole time that people were coming at me for roasting her, they thought I was jealous. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not jealous of this chick. I am by far jealous of Talia. I'm telling y'all that y'all are turning on me, but watch what she's going to do to y'all in the end. Jafar, I didn't plan on it. I actually was at work. I was at work, and then when I walked in, I hit the time clock and I went to the unit, and they were like, "Oh, they gave you the day off today." And I'm like, "No shit." So my boss was like, "Yeah, you work COVID all weekend. We're giving you a break." And I'm like, "Fucking right on." Because normally on Mondays I do a 16-hour shift, but today I get the day off. Well, Rose sector. Hey armed. I um I agree. I agree on that. I agree on that. But a part of him, a part of the reason why I think he's doing it, and I can't speak for Lamar, and I'm not defending Lamar in any way. But remember 3 weeks ago when she did this shit to him? Well, no, I can't even say that. Mm, okay, then let me retract because I can't say anything in that situation because when she was doing that, Mike Mills did tell her not to do it. So it's not like they were pumping her up or they were leading her to do that. You're right. You're right, Rose Sector. Now that I think back on it, that's one reason why Mike had kicked her to the curb was because she had done that to LA. Mm-mm-mm. So now he's laughing that she's doing this to Mike and Jimmy. Well, I'm not laughing that she's doing this to Mike and Jimmy because I don't find it funny at all. I find it despicable. I find it disgusting. I find it foul. I find it all kinds of things. I'm white and I wouldn't call the police on nobody. But I find that what she is doing is disgraceful and despicable. Um, Maybe he's laughing now because they pumped her up for so long. I don't know. I don't know. But it is kind of, yeah, I don't think that he should be laughing at this for doing this to them whenever you're right. She did this to him just a couple of weeks ago. I have to agree there. Jafar, listen, and he made the comment yesterday that I would not jump on the panel and talk to him about it. Well, and I said that I was at work, and then he tried to say, you don't work those hours. That's not your work schedule. How the fuck do you know my work schedule, dude? I work all the time. I work different shifts. What the fuck are you talking about? Then after he said, that's not your work schedule, then he said, I don't even have a job. So then guess what I did? I jumped on his fucking panel while I was at work and I went outside and then he fucking kicked me off. You say I won't talk to you about it, but when I come out with the truth about the situation, you fucking kick me off. Listen, I'm so over that shit. Like, first of all, he wishes. That's all I can say on that, Jafar. He wishes I would have done some shit like that. Never in a million years. Good morning, Jay. Good morning. And then when I did, when I first jumped on his panel, I was on camera. You could see I had on my goggles, I had on my surge cap, I had on my isolation gown, I had on my N95 mask, but I don't have a fucking job. It's funny because they love to say, "Oh, Cat ain't got no job. Cat hasn't been working during the pandemic." I just let people say what they want to say. It cracks me up. Which dummy, Rhonda? So some weirdo. I drove out here to the lake when I left work because it was on my way home, and some weirdo was like driving through all slow in the parking lot. So I gotta watch the weirdo around me. Hey, you're right. You're right, Rhonda. Absolutely, I agree. You got it. Yeah, yeah. Jafar, listen. We've talked about that several times, and we're on the same page. That's all I'm gonna say. We're on the same page. And then he wanted to bring up some shit yesterday about Nikki. Well, let me explain Nikki to you, okay? Nikki, Nikki and I have only seen each other probably 5 or 6 times. I don't hang out with her. I don't talk to her. I don't even know her phone number. We're not Facebook friends. We don't know each other like that. We don't know each other like that. So let me explain what happened in that situation, okay? Kevin Leroy claimed that he was related to Tiffany's baby daddy and his family. That was what Kevin Leroy claimed, that he was related to them. And I'm like, then you should know these people. If you're related to them, how do you not know these people? So when he came here to Kansas City and we went to Tiffany's house, Nikki was there. Nikki was there. She lived next door to Tiffany at that time. But me and Nikki were never cool. We were never friends. Nikki and I were never friends. Nikki does not know nothing about my life. She has never known anything about my life. And she was drunk and she was messaging Kevin Leroy on Facebook behind everybody's back, behind my back, behind Tiffany's back. She was messaging him and they were messaging each other behind all of our backs. So her drunk ass lied to Kevin Leroy only to try to get him to her house because she wanted him to buy her a bottle. She wanted Kevin Leroy to come to her house to buy her alcohol. That was it. Because that's what Nikki does, is Nikki drinks. And I don't hang around her. I never have. I've never given two shits about a Nikki. I don't like her. I don't trust her. I don't like the way she moves. I don't like some of the things that she does. I don't like some of the things that she says. And I've never really heard her, but on my own. I mean, I have, like, one time when me and her and Tiffany had actually gone somewhere together. She was a whole fucking fool. That was the one and only time I ever went anywhere with her. One and only time I ever went anywhere with Nikki in the car with us. I don't hang around Nikki. Nikki has seen me maybe 5 or 6 times. I don't know Nikki's phone number. We don't text. We don't talk. We're not Facebook friends. Nothing. Nikki is not credible when it comes to me, and Tiffany can verify that. So I don't care what Lamar says. Nikki does not know me. Ask Nikki what my kids' names are. Ask Nikki where I live. She can't tell you none of that because she don't know me. She don't know me like that. And truth be told, like, her and Tiffany didn't even become cool until after Tiffany and Aaron broke up. Nikki is not credible when it comes to Kat. Nikki is not credible when it comes to Kat. Nikki and I are not cool. We never have been. We've never been friends. We don't communicate with each other. She was a drunk bitch trying to get Kevin Leroy to come to her house to buy her liquor. That was it. She don't know nothing about me. So if they want to try to pull her in the mix, I fucking dare them. Because that bitch cannot answer one question about me or my life. But this ain't even about Nikki. This ain't even about Lamar. This is about Talia and the stupid shit that she's been doing. And yes, Mike Mills turned on me for Talia. And it's funny because I remember back then, whenever Mike did a show, he's like, Kat, did you really think I was going to turn on Talia for you? Look at you now. I'm not laughing at the situation of what you guys are going through with her. I'm laughing at the point that I told you so. I don't know. I don't know what y'all are gonna do, but my recommendation, like, I'm not taking none of my videos down on her. I'm not, because I'm not scared. What's she gonna tell the police? That she was talking shit on me and I talk shit back? Snow Queen, the bully said he might be able to get Nikki to come on. That's never gonna happen. She doesn't do none of this shit. She doesn't. She has nothing to do with none of this. And you know what? I wish he would. Honestly, I wish that he would. I wish he could get her. because then I would love to hear her answer questions about my life or who I am or what I do or about my kids. I wish he would, because then y'all will see she don't know me. There ain't nothing she can say about me. Nothing, because she does not know me. I believe it. I believe that, Jay. And that's the thing, though. Like, oh, I don't know, because I have my opinion on that too about her putting up pictures of his wife. There's several times that I could have put up pictures of Jimmy's wife and I didn't do it because she's innocent in all of this. You know, there are people that are innocent in all of this. But at the same time, Jimmy, Clifton Rainey's mother was innocent in all of this. And you still peed on her picture. So sometimes you get what you put out there. You know, you get back what you put out there. She doesn't do that though, Ron. Well, at least she tells me she don't do that. So, you know, who knows? She has a lot going on in her life right now. I'm not even going to involve her in any of this stuff. You know, we talk all the time. We're good. I know what's up. The only reason why he knows of Nikki, Rhonda, is because of the messages that Kevin Leroy has with Nikki, I believe on Facebook, when they were Facebook messaging each other when he was here in Kansas City. That's the only way. It's not coming from her. It's not coming from her. It's coming from Kevin Leroy, which I find it hilarious that he even go down that road because he already knew that Nikki did not know me. He already knew that. He already knew. Good morning, Miss Raz. He already knew that Nikki was just trying to get him to come to her house to buy her a bottle. He already knew all of that. That's what I'm saying. Like that dude, I don't even want to talk about that dude because it just makes me angry. It makes me so fucking angry to talk about him because he's full of shit and he's a fucking liar. Mm-mm. No, 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 Jafar. I'm not gonna go talk to Nikki because of this. Nikki and I don't talk. Why the fuck would I go talk to her now? Why would I go talk to her now? We do not talk. Listen, I saw her, what, last week maybe? The week before? It was the first time I had seen her in, fuck, I don't know, over a year. And when she walked out of the building, she waved at me. I waved back at her. That was it. We didn't even say hello. We just waved at each other. We don't know each other like that. I'm not going to go and talk to her. I'm not going to talk to her because of this shit. If I don't talk to her in real life, why would I go talk to her about some messy ass bullshit? I'm not doing that. Fuck it. If she jumps, she jumps. The fuck am I going to do? You're at work right now, Miss Raz. I actually got the day off. I'm so excited. Tonight is my son's actual high school graduation, but because of COVID, they don't get to do like a ceremony. I don't know. They're doing some weird shit tonight. I gotta actually figure out exactly what the plan is. Like the parents, we don't get to even stand there and watch our children walk across the stage. At first, they were going to make us do like a virtual thing where we had to watch them online. But now they're talking about doing something like outside on their own football field. And the parents, we get to do some kind of a parade with our vehicles. And I'm like, this is some bullshit, man. Like, even if you only allowed the parents, you know what I'm saying, to watch the children without any extra family members. And like my son, it would just be me, you know? It would just be me watching my son walk across the stage. So I don't understand why they can't just at least let the mom and dad, or just the mom, or just the dad, or whatever the situation of the child is. So now, while my son walks across the stage on a football field to get his diploma, I'm driving around in a parade around the school. Are you, what the fuck? What? Weird shit. But it's my son. It's his high school graduation. I love my son to the moon and back. So I'll do whatever they want me to. This is my third child to graduate high school. This will be my third child to go to college. I got one more to go. The light at the end of the tunnel is so bright. It's so bright. My youngest son, he'll be a sophomore next year. So it's getting closer. I now have three young adults. My baby is 16. So, yes, when everybody thought that I was jealous of Talia because she was 23, I would not want to relive 23. I would not want to relive my 20s. I would not. Because when I was 23, I had already given birth to four kids. Listen, there was many times that I was on a panel with Talia and I was trying to talk common sense to her. Thank you, Rhonda. I was trying to talk common sense to Talia. I was trying to like give her some adult advice. I mean, I understand like her family clearly don't fuck with her. I get it. Um, but I have daughters that are her age. So I was trying to talk to her like I would talk to my own daughters. And she would listen. She would listen. But then as soon as somebody else would jump up on the panel and sway her in a different direction, she would flip. And that only tells me right there that she is very immature. She's a very immature young lady. She has not come into any type of accountability or adulthood or womanhood or anything at this point in time. She clearly has nobody steering her in the right direction. And although I know that Lashid for You, where I give her credit, Lashid for You did try and has tried. I've seen it, I've heard it. I actually heard a playback where Lashid was trying to give her good adult advice. She doesn't listen. She's not coachable. She's very easy to manipulate because she's immature. She's a very immature young woman. And I think the reason why my maturity level at her age was different was because I was a mother. No, VW, you're right. She does. Absolutely, she does. But listen, the mental condition that she has comes in different forms. And so for her, she's not a severe case. She's not a severe case. She's probably like a mild case. I would say she's more like a mild case of autism. And so for people, even with mild cases of autism, they know logic. They know logic. They know right from wrong. They know right from wrong. And we can't always give her mental stability as an out. It's written all over her face. I believe that she does have some form of an autism, but I believe it's a mild form of autism where she still can reason with logic and she can still reason with right and wrong. She chooses not to. She jumps the gun too fast. She wants to get into this game. She starts to try to cook people. When she gets cooked back, she can't handle it. And what does she do? She plays victim and runs to the police. In this game, that's what we do. We cook people and we get cooked. It happens. That's what this is. And she has been around long enough now in this sector to see that that's what happens. And you know what, VW? I mean, you're right. She was very young when she came into this sector. And because of her age, she should have been left out of it. She should have been left out of it because of her age at the time she came in the sector. When I came into the sector, I was in my 30s. Oh, well, technically, until Friday, I'm still in my 30s. But I was like 35, 34, 35 when I came into the sector. She was what, 18 maybe when she came in. not even, maybe 19, 20, something like that when she came into the sector. And you're right, because of her age, she should not have been allowed to be in on this mess because she clearly is not mature enough to handle it. But you can't talk shit on people and expect people not to come back and talk shit on you. I mean, it happens. It's what we do. That's why this is the roast sector. You're right, Miss Raz. You are absolutely right on that. I don't know why she thinks by calling the police, they're just going to come lock people up. She's beefing with these police officers are dealing with pros. Yeah, right, Jay. And like I tried to tell her, like in today's society, with what is going on in our society today with law enforcement and African American men and even African American women, why would you call the police on them? Why would you call the police on them? All I can say is that I predict, and I'm not one of the sector witches. I'm not one of the sector psychics, but I predict that something terrible is going to happen to someone in this sector. Something terrible is going to happen. Whether if it's somebody actually gets their ass beat, whether if it's somebody gets locked up, whether if it's somebody, ends up dead over this shit, something terrible is going to happen. Because I'm not saying that we're bad people. I don't think that we are bad people at all. I think that we make bad decisions and I think that we say bad things, but I don't think that we're bad people. But sometimes your bad decisions and your bad words can have repercussions. Oh no, that's a straight lie. So let me ask you this. Let's think logically here, Talia. You told the police that your phone was stolen and your nudes got out. So let's think logically. You're in California and your phone gets stolen in California. How does somebody in Alabama get your nudes? How does somebody in Georgia get your nudes? How does somebody in Ohio get your nudes? Let's think logically. Who would steal your phone and say, there's nude pictures on here. I think I'm going to send these to Kevin Smith, and I think I'm going to send these to Jimmy Colquitt, and I think I'm going to send these to Michael Moore? Can we think logically? Can we be smart? I want to know how that happens. And they just all happen to be a part of YouTube, and they just all happen to be people that I'm fighting with. Come on, man. You can't believe the police are that stupid. I even have like streams where I've talked to her on streams and streams where I've talked, where, and I've talked to her. And I even have audio where I've talked to her on streams where I have told her, you know, what you put out there, you are taking a risk. Yeah, that's a false police report. If you call the police and you tell them that your phone was stolen and your nudes got sent around and now people are posting them as a revenge porn, well, first of all, how would these people know to post your nudes as revenge porn if your phone was stolen and you're not the one that sent them? It just doesn't make sense. But what you did to Leah by lying to the police is called a false police report. And again, by lying to the police and saying, my phone was stolen and someone sent my nudes around, that's not taking accountability for you sending out your nudes, sweetheart. Right, Rhonda. Absolutely. King Serious, I've been saying that. I've been saying that she just needs to leave. I even told her, like, you're really into art. Maybe you should start an art channel. Maybe you should focus on that. I told her to go enroll in college, get a degree, get an education. You can get a degree in art. Listen, my 22-year-old is in college. Okay, she's majoring in psychology and she's minoring in art. She's young. She's still young to do something with her life. She has plenty of time to do something productive with her young life. And that's where her focus should be. It should not be over here messing with these grown men and these grown women, because you can dish it out, but you clearly cannot take it. That's what I'm saying, Des. If your phone was stolen, who would have stolen your phone and thought, let me send these out to the men of YouTube? Who would have even known that those men were involved in YouTube? She doesn't think before she speaks, and that is a big part of her problem. You're right. Absolutely. I can't get over the fact she told the police that her phone was stolen and that's how her news got out there. Like, are you fucking kidding me? She also did a video showing Mike's number. Well, listen, let me tell you. 5 years ago, Tina and Jamila put my phone number all over YouTube. Okay. A couple of months ago, or maybe a month ago, Jimmy put my phone number out there on YouTube. And the only weirdo that called me was Talia. So I don't think Mike has to worry about anybody calling him from YouTube, because Talia was the only weirdo in this sector that called my phone. Yeah, that's yeah, yeah. She did, and then she lied about it. She's like, I didn't call Kat's phone, bitch. Nobody else talks like you. And this is what she said to me when she called. She called me from a private number. So I answered the phone. I didn't even know that Jimmy had did the video. I did not even know that Jimmy had done a video putting out my phone number. So she calls me, right, from a private number. And usually I don't answer private calls. So I answered. I'm like, hello. And she's like, Kat. And I knew right away, as soon as she said my name, I knew it was her. And I'm like, what the fuck is this bitch doing calling me? I said, yes, what can I do for you? And she's like, I just want to let you know that Jimmy did a video and put out your phone number. I said, and your point is what? I said, Tina and Jamila put my phone number out 5 years ago. I've had the same phone number for 8 years. What is your point? Oh, well, I just wanted to let you know that Jimmy did a video putting out your phone number. I said, and yet you're calling me. I said, okay, well, you have a good day. And I hung up on her. She's the only weirdo that called me. I think I did a live stream once where I put my own phone number out there. And people were like, one person called me and was asking me questions. And that was it. Nobody cares because we're not famous. We're not famous people. We're fuck shit people. Nobody cares to call fuck shit people. I know, Rhonda. I was laughing. I'm like, well, I mean, like, who can? Listen, can you imagine? Can you imagine turning to somebody and say, "Guess what? Guess who I talked to on the phone? I talked to Cat Smith." And you'd be like, "Who the fuck is that? Who the fuck is Cat Smith?" I'm not famous. I don't give a fuck. Nobody's checking for me like that. Just like ain't nobody checking for nobody else like that. We're not famous people. We're not public figures. We're public pretenders. Knock it off. I love when people say that. Oh, I'm a public figure. So who? Because YouTube is free and there are millions of people on YouTube. So I guess there are millions of public figures that were just all undiscovered, right? Tracy, did you not hear what I said, sweetheart? Are you just now coming in, Tracy? Let me explain. I went into work today because on Mondays I normally work a 16-hour shift. I went into work this morning. I hit the time clock. I go to the unit. My boss is sitting there and she's like, oh, she's like, I didn't put you on the schedule today. She's like, you work COVID all weekend. I'm giving you a break. I said, well, fucking right on. I get a whole 16 hours off today. Do you know how excited I am? I am thrilled. I am thrilled that I don't have to work today. And tonight is my son's graduation. Well, I wasn't actually going to work this evening, anyways. I was going to actually leave work around 3 o'clock today because tonight is my son's high school graduation. So normally on a Monday, I work a 16-hour shift, but today I'm working a 0 hour shift. I think I got 30 minutes on the time clock this morning, and I'm good with that. I'm excited. So you get a whole day of hearing my voice, Tracy. Aren't you excited, boo boo? But yeah, we're not famous people. And the people that call themselves public figures, I laugh. I do. I kind of chuckle at that. I chuckle at that because I'm thinking, okay, well, if you're a public figure, so are the millions of others that do YouTube, blogs. We're just all undiscovered. We're undiscovered talent. But no, on a serious note though, like when it comes to LA and him calling himself a public figure, on a serious note, and again, I'm not defending him. I'm not sucking it through the jeans. You know, I did. I really did. Hey Franny, hey Concrete. I did talk to LA behind the scenes about doing stand-up comedy. And I did link him up with I know two people that are involved in stand-up comedy. One was a stand-up comedian from Chicago, and he's actually retired now. And the other one is a stand-up comedian who's been on Comedy Central. He's been on like HBO comedy. He's from here, he's from Kansas City, and then he traveled and did comedy like out in California. He's done comedy all over the United States. He's been featured on Comedy Central many times. And I did tell LA that if stand-up comedy was something that he was really wanting to pursue, that I would hook him up with some connections that I have in stand-up comedy. And I would have them help him get started. Because in all honesty, even though I can't, I don't know if I could do it from here, Kevo. Let me see. No, I can't do it from here. Oh, and here I just put you on the thingy. And even though like Lamar and I are not getting along, if that was something that he still wanted to pursue, I told him I would stand on my word and I would still try to help him out with that. But on a serious note, even when LA talks shit on me, I laugh because the dude is funny. He is a funny fucking dude. He really is. And so I think that, stand up comedy would be something good for him to pursue. And if he ever did decide to come here to Kansas City for whatever reason, I would put him in with my Kansas City plug. I've already put him into my Chicago plug. So Lamar, listen, he's not funny all the time, but there are times that Lamar is funny. Put my next message on the thingy. Okay. That one. Stand up comedy at 44. Is you listen. I know people that start college at the age of 4. I know a doctor, okay? I work with one of my doctors, and he did not even go to medical school until he turned 40. He was actually a nurse. I'm not going to say his name. I'll say his first name. His first name was actually Kevin, okay? Kevin was a nurse. We worked together. We worked together for a long time. And at the age of 40, he decided to go to med school to become a doctor. So, I mean, it's not, listen, I know women that are in their 50s that are just now starting nursing school. Saying a silly phrase and doing stand up are two different things. Your jokes have to be able to relate to an audience of at least 100 people in attendance. You're right. You're right. And he knows that. We've talked, Lamar and I had lots of conversations about this behind the scenes, and we talked about that. And he knows he's not completely oblivious to what he would have to do. He knows that the material that he uses on YouTube would have to be completely different from a stand up. He knows all that. You're right, Miss Raz. It's never too late to go to school. It's never too late to educate yourself. It's never too late to want to change your life. It's never too late to want to be somebody. Snow Queen. Oh my gosh, this chat is going too fast. Snow Queen, I don't think the bully can handle stand up. He would have to bring the game with him. Well, I mean, you never know until you try, right? There's no Tracy and no Nag in comedy clubs. Not too late to follow your dreams. Absolutely, Miss Raz. It is never too late to follow your dreams. I have no undying devotion. Trust and believe that. That is something that I told him when we were cool, and that is something that, I said I would do, and I'll stand on my word. It has nothing to do with an undying devotion. It's not like that. It's the word that I gave. Listen, sometimes we have to fail a few times before we become successful. And I'm not just talking like in his situation, if that was something he chose to do. I'm talking about in every situation in life. Sometimes we have to fall, sometimes we have to fail before we become successful. He says a lot of things about me, Rhonda, but that doesn't make them true, which is what's funny. I love how he says he doesn't lie. Again, like I said, the minute that someone says, I don't lie, that's the first lie that they just told. See, that's wonderful, Franny. Franny says, I've always been a painter, but now I started selling my work in my late 40s and I am semi successful. Everything sells. I'm still learning techniques, so I'm slow and still learning. But that's a wonderful thing that you're doing. That's something that you enjoy. It's something that you take passion in, and now you're turning it into something successful for yourself. There's nothing wrong with taking something that you enjoy, something, because when you enjoy doing what you're doing, you're more successful at it. If you go to work every day and you hate your life and you hate your job, then you're not going to go nowhere. You're going to be stuck in a rut. But if you're doing something that you thoroughly enjoy, you become successful because you're happy. I don't go lightly. I don't go lightly on him. I don't know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. I don't go lightly. The old saying, you are what you are trying to stop. Rose sector truth. Stop it. Exactly. Exactly. I'm just like speaking in the sense of people wanting to be in the fame and limelight. You know what I'm saying? Like when you call yourself a public figure, you cannot call yourself a public figure on YouTube. You just can't, because if that's the case, then there are millions of us who go nowhere but YouTube. But if being a public figure is something that you really want to be, then follow your dreams and be that person. You guys take what I say and you twist it around. You do. You guys take what I say and you twist it around. I'm just saying that you cannot call yourself a public figure on YouTube. If that's the case, we're all public figures and we're going nowhere but fucking YouTube, which is free. We entertain all of you for free. Jimmy squashed beef with me to keep his stalking attention towards Cat. You know, YouTube is Lamar's punishment for all the dirty fuck shit. My slate is not completely clean, you know? I've done a lot of dirty fuck shit in this bullshit too. Look at Chris Callie. Good morning, hater. I was wondering if you was gonna show up. That's true. That is true. But here's the deal, you guys. Think about it. In stand-up comedy, what do comedians get most of their laughs out of? Think about it. When you listen to a comedian, what do they mostly talk about that makes you laugh? Their real life. Yes, Brandy, we have. But like most of the comedians that I listen to whenever I watch Comedy Channel or whatever, they incorporate their real life into their material. So y'all don't think that his real life ain't sad and funny? Exactly, that's their life. That's what they talk about. They talk about their real life. Right, Franny. They talk about their fuck ups, and sometimes we relate to those fuck ups. So look at his life, look at Lamar's real life, and look at Lamar's fuck ups. You guys laugh at it when you troll. You guys laugh at it when you listen to him. And yet you don't think he can't be a comedian telling his life stories and get a few laughs? Lamar's stories on his real life, he's always a hero and always wins. But we see through that and we laugh. We see through the stories and we laugh because we know what the true end result is. Kevin Smith cracks me up when he tells me when Jimmy yells at him when he's mad. Jimmy yells at everybody when he's mad. Jimmy's yelled at me. I'm like, dude, who the fuck are you yelling at? Stop yelling at me. Yeah, but you know what though? That's the thing though, Rhonda. It's like I don't put myself in his company. Okay. I've X'd myself from his company. I don't care what the dude says. I don't care. Ain't nobody in love with him. Knock it off, fuckery. Ain't nobody in love with him. I'm just speaking on a sense where, whenever someone says that they actually want to do something productive with their life, and then you think about that career path that they're talking about, and then you think about that when you actually watch that type of thing, you see what those people actually talk about. They talk about their real lives, and you think, yeah, I laugh at your real life. So it is kind of funny. If you study some other comedians and see how they present, they act humble and funny about silly shit that captures the audience. Yeah. Like, listen, my friends, my two friends that are in stand up comedy, like I said, one is from Chicago and he's retired, but he's hilarious. Like, I've watched a lot of his old material from like the 90s, and that shit is funny because he talked about his real life, and that shit was hilarious. And then my friend that still does, he's an active stand up comedian. He talks about his real life. He talks about things that he's witnessed in life, and the way he spends it is fucking hilarious. No, you cannot. You cannot treat people like shit and be successful. No, you can't. But can you imagine? Can you imagine if they took this sector? Okay, if they took this sector and the things that we do and the way that we talk, can you imagine how much comedy this is to other people? I mean, look at the trolls. What do you guys come here for? You come here for a laugh and you come here for entertainment. Do you not? You come here for entertainment and you come here for a laugh. So imagine if they featured this sector on some crazy ass TV show. Are you saying that you wouldn't turn off YouTube and watch it live from the bedroom television? Oh, we all know that. We all know that, Rhonda. Y'all talk about Lamar like he didn't lose his marbles a long time ago. Well, and I said that though, fuckery. I said that like saying that you're a public figure on YouTube, that's a laugh. Because if that's the case, we are all public figures on YouTube. There are millions of people that are public figures on YouTube. That shit is hilarious to me when YouTubers say that they're a public figure. We're not public figures, we're public jackasses. We make jackasses out of ourselves. We're not public figures, we're a laughing stock. Exactly. That's what I'm saying, Franny. That's what I'm saying. There's so much fuckery that goes on in this sector. That's why you guys come around, because you get a good laugh and you get entertained. And the funny part is like Lamar is not the only one in this sector that I heard refer to himself as a public figure. Although the other person who referred to themselves as a public figure claims that they're not a part of this sector anymore. We are. We're public jackasses. But yet you still come around, Chris. You still come around. So obviously I entertain you in some form. Even if it's to mock and ridicule me, you still come around to listen. I do something to you. I tickle your pickle in some kind of way. Right, Rhonda? So what's your point, dude? Chick, whoever the fuck you are. I mean, Des, I can't X myself from the fuckery. I can't sit here and act like I've never done fuck shit. I've done a lot of fuck shit. I've done a lot. I've done a lot of fuck shit behind the scene. I've done a lot of fuck shit on the scene. But the difference in me and another person who I started the stream on, I take accountability. Yes, oh my God. And I will never hear the end of it. And I knew that when I became honest about it, I knew that I would never hear the end of the fact that I lied about Kevin Leroy. Oh my God. Somebody fucking shoot me. But who is Kevin Leroy? Seriously. If I would have came on YouTube and said, yo, good morning, everybody. I fucked Kevin Leroy last night. What would anybody have said? Congratulations? Who the fuck is that? What are you talking about? I mean, seriously. If I would have came live on a stream and said, good morning, Des. Good morning, Franny. Good morning, Rhonda. Hey, hater Chris Callie. I fucked Kevin Leroy last night. What would any of you said? Seriously, let's keep it real. What would anybody have said? I sucked his dick and he ate my pussy. What the fuck would anybody have said? Not a goddamn thing, but this bitch is nuts. Right. Did you get off on that? Who that? Right. Fuckery, you are retarded, man. You are retarded. That's what you would have said. I'd have been like, hey, let me tell you, when it comes to the bottom row, yep, it's missing. And I go without it every day. So there's nothing to take out. It was already gone. That's what I would have told you. What do you want me to say? I'd have said, did you enjoy it? Honestly, I'm going to say it again. The head game was not that bad. Exactly, troll father. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. You can't win in this bullshit. Nobody wins. Nobody wins in this dumb shit. We all just fucking look stupid. And okay, I lied about fucking a dude for 4 years. How does it feel to be another man caping for another man's dick for 4 years? Let's keep it real. Did it make you feel good? Did it get your dick hard? Did it get your dick hard? Did you rock hard and going around caping for another man's fucking dick? Another man that you call your best friend, but you don't fucking know? Did you get off on that? Let's keep it real. Are you mad because I got the dick and you didn't? What's the problem? If I would have came on here and said, hey, it's July 2016 and I fucked Kevin Leroy multiple times and he ate my pussy and he sucked my toes, nobody would have given a fuck. because nobody knows who the dude is. I made you famous, homie. I made you famous. I made you YouTube famous. You wanted the attention of this sector. You got it, homie. Congratulations. You fuck Cat Smith. You feel better now? Like I said, had the dude not have came in this bullshit paying people, let's rewind, because he got his feelings hurt. He came in this sector and he was paying people to tell lies on me. Now, had he not have done that bullshit, and had he have been somebody with a face and a name and a voice, and he came on here and said he fucked me, what I said, fuck yeah, I did. But he was a nobody. He was a no name, a no face, a no voice. I'm not saying he's a nobody in life. I'm saying he was a nobody in this sector. So who really gave a fuck? Lamar. Lamar gave a fuck. And what did he do? Even after he pulled that bullshit on me, and I told Kevin Leroy on the phone, I said, dude, for real? This is what you want to do? You want to come on here and pay Tina, pay Mike, pay Lamar to tell lies on me? Well, guess what, homie? I can play your game. I don't fucking know you. You want to lie? I'll lie too. I don't know who the fuck you are because you're a nobody. Nobody knows you. Of course I noticed that fuckery. Of course I noticed that. Yes, he did. That's exactly what happened. And I'm okay with that because you know what? That shows that Kevin Leroy gives way more of a fuck than I do. Oh, her pussy stank, but you had your face in it every fucking time. Every time I turned around, you had your face in it, bitch. Oh, I couldn't fuck her. You did multiple times. Her house had roaches. Where? We all had roaches. How about that? Everybody in this sector has roaches. Has anybody not noticed that? I got roaches. Lamar got roaches. Tina got roaches. We all got roaches. Pretty soon, all of you trolls are going to have roaches too. And I'll tell you what, every time that you're at home or on your phone or whatever and you tune into us, your phone got roaches. Your home got roaches because we are roaches. Cat Smith doesn't take showers. Are you fucking serious? I take at least two a day. At least. At least. It's all right, Franny. Be glad you don't know about the situation. Because trust me, I wish I didn't know about the situation. I mean, let's keep it real, right? Let's be honest, right? The dude begged me. Listen, even okay, so I got a smelly kitty. My house is filthy. I got roaches. My kids sleep on the floor. My kids don't have beds. My kids don't shower. What else did he say about me? Oh, I have flat tires. I didn't have a Mustang. I had a truck. Uh, I don't even know. I don't even know. You know, there were times that I would go on to Mike's panel, and I would be driving in my Mustang, and I would have to tell Mike, I'm driving a stick, so give me a second because my Mustang. I love stick shifts. I love manual transmissions. Love them. Love them. They're faster. They get better gas mileage. They're the bomb. I love driving a stick shift. So most of my vehicles are stick shifts. So anyway, what else did he say? I can't even remember all the lies he told about me. I cannot even remember all the lies. Oh, she was never sick. She never had cancer. She never did that. Oh my God. All this shit that the dude said about me. Okay. All the shit that the dude said about me. But yet, he bought me a $3,000 ring. He begged me to marry him. He begged me to have a baby with him. Now, who would buy a $3,000 ring for a smelly puss, dirty house, roach infested, can't even take care of her kids, broken down, busted ass vehicles, broke bitch, 98 cents in the bank account? Who would buy a $3,000 ring for someone like that? Let's keep it honest. Men, would you buy a $3,000 ring and beg some female to marry you? If she was a broke bitch with busted down vehicles, a dirty house, cockroaches, kids don't shower, the woman don't shower, the woman's kitty cat smell, it stinks, whatever, would you? Make that make sense. Make that make sense. Oh, I didn't fuck her. I couldn't fuck her because, like her pussy smelled. Well, you begged me to have a baby. So how did you think you were going to get me pregnant? You can't get me pregnant by sticking your dick down my throat, homie. I gave it back. Exactly, troll father. I hurt his feelings. I did. Because I'm going to say it again. The dude that you see in the avatar, he does not look like that. Ladies, all the pictures that he has sent to you in person, he does not look like that. And I'm not saying that the pictures are not him. I'm not saying that. It could have been 20 fucking years ago, but it's not him today. Man, Chris, get the fuck out. You're gone now. Listen, I've been trying to be nice to you. I've been trying to be nice, but I'm over you. Right, Miss Raz. 3,000 is a lot of money to spend on somebody that you claim is dirty, roach infested, broke down vehicles, 98 cents in the bank account, smelly pussy, don't shower, kids are sleeping on the floor. I mean, come on. But I get it. It's entertainment. It's entertainment. That was the Kevin version of you got a little dick and you can't screw. No, that's not it. That's not what I'm saying. No, listen. So I talked to him for what, 7 months? I talked to him for like 7 months through Facebook and through text messaging, on the phone, and before I even ever met him, I talked to him for like 7 months. Okay, and when he came here and I went to go get him from the airport, I was driving my Mustang, the Mustang that I don't have. I picked him up in my Mustang. So when he got off the plane, I'm standing. I'm like, I'm looking. I'm looking for the dude in the pictures, and I don't see the dude in the pictures. I mean, that's all I had to go off, right? Was the pictures that he was sending me. So that's who the fuck I'm looking for. And I'm like, damn, did the dude get on the plane or did he not get on the plane? Where the fuck is the dude at? And here comes up walking, big smile on his face, because clearly I am what I look like. I don't give a fuck how anybody tries to make me look. I am what I look like. And Kevin Leroy had even said that I look just like my pictures. So I don't give a fuck what Lamar says. I don't give a fuck how Lamar tries to make me look. I don't give a fuck what Mike Mills says. I don't give a fuck how Mike Mills tries to make me look. He recognized me immediately. Big smile on his face. And I'm like, hmm. Here's a dude staring at me with a big smile on his face. I'm guessing that's him. I'm guessing that's him. So he comes walking up to me. Now remember, I'm 5'10". I am a tall woman. I am 5'10". I have been since I was 18. And up coming up to me is this dude who's about 5'6", maybe 125 pounds, maybe. Right, Troll Father, right. And he knew I was tall. Like I told him, because he even asked me once, like, "Well, how tall are you?" 5'10". So up comes walking this 5'6" dude that maybe weighs 125 pounds, and I'm like, this is awkward. This is awkward. Like Harry is 6'4", Quentin is 6'9". You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so this is him. Okay, fine, I accept it. Okay, I'm willing to look past the little things. I'm willing to look past the things that are not so shallow. I'm trying not to be shallow because I'm met the man that I was speaking to. You know what I'm saying? So just because he's 5'6", just because he's a little guy, I'm not going to count him out because of the conversations that we had. Right, right. So when he came here and he spent that little bit of time with me here, I couldn't help it. Like at the end of everything, I couldn't help it. I couldn't I couldn't get into it. I couldn't feel it. Yes, I had sex with him multiple times. Yes, I sucked his weenus. Yes, he ate the kitty. Yes, I let him suck my toes. But I was trying. I was gonna get something out of the deal. I tried. I tried really hard. And I just couldn't. So yes, in the end, I chose Justin over him. And I know that that hurt. I know that that hurt his feelings. I get it. But you cannot force somebody to be into you. You just can't. That's my word, Troll Father. I always say weenus. A mercy boink. It wasn't even really a mercy boink. Like I said, I was really trying to feel the situation. I gave it my best. But I just couldn't, I just couldn't. And so yeah, I chose Justin and I was with Justin for 3 years. But I, I hurt his feelings and I get it. And I can't even apologize enough for hurting his feelings. I really can't. I cannot apologize enough for hurting his feelings because I never wanted to do that. I hate hurting people's feelings. I truly do. Because despise the fuck shit ways I act on YouTube, despise my dumb behaviors that I do for the sake of views on YouTube, whatever you want to call it, at the end of the day, me in my personal life outside of the fuck shit, I am a caring and compassionate person. And I don't like to hurt people's feelings. I truly don't. And that's why I say that when we're on YouTube, it's like a character that we portray. Because in real life we're different people. At least I know that I am. I'm a different person. I really truly am a compassionate and caring person. I try my best. I try to give my best, but I just couldn't in that situation. And I guess I'm being faulted for it. I guess I'm being lied on for it. Right. So like I get his motives. He acted out of hurt. I get it. I forgive it. I forgive. You know what? I forgive you, Kevin Leroy. I forgive you for paying these people to lie their asses off on me. Because it's funny to me. What's really funny to me is hear Lamar say, I don't lie roast. Well, you took this dude's words for gold. So you have lie roasted the fuck out of me. That's why I say you cannot come on here and say that you don't lie and you don't lie roast, because you've lied about me. You've lie roasted on me. I don't care what Lamar says. I'm sitting here, like, I'm sitting here, I'm drinking a cup of coffee, I'm staring at the lake, and I'm being gut level honest with a bunch of strange people I've never met in my life. Because that's what taking accountability for your actions is. Vic met me for all of like 20 minutes, and we barely even spoke except for whenever he gave me a tour of his backyard where the gophers or the hedgehogs or whatever the fuck they were, um, groundhogs, hedgehogs, gophers were like eating his house apart. That's like the only real interaction that I had. I don't care what they say, Cheeseburger Callie. A liar calls a liar a liar. Jimmy, come on now. We all know Jimmy got his feelings hurt. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Exactly, Rhonda. Exactly. Everybody does in this sector. Everybody does. We're not all truthful, decent YouTubers. No, we might be decent in our real lives, but on YouTube, we are not truthful, decent people. We're not. Look what we do to each other. Look what we do to each other. You tell me which YouTuber in this sector is a decent person on YouTube. Because in their real life, they might be a decent person. But on YouTube, none of us are decent. None of us are completely honest. You're right. Okay. Well, you go with what you feel. Okay. That's all I can tell you is go with what you feel. My shit has been proven. My medical documents have been out there. My medical documents came out in, what was it, Troll Father, 2016? I think it was 2016 that my documents were put out there. And then I had surgery in 2017. And I'm not going to sit there and dox myself to make a bunch of people fucking happy. I'm not doing that. I don't have to. I don't have to prove shit to anybody on YouTube. But my medical documents were put out there in 2016. I'm not going to go back 4 years and dig this shit up. I'm not doing it. What goes on in my personal life outside of YouTube is nobody's fucking business. What I struggle with outside of YouTube is nobody's fucking business. When I have a doctor's appointment, whatever my diagnosis is, it's nobody on YouTube's fucking business. Thank you, Troll Father. You were around when that happened. You're right. My medical documents were put out in 2015, 2016. If you weren't around to see that shit, sorry for you. Because I'm not going to rehash it. But here you got Troll Father, who's been around longer than me, who remembers when my medical docs were, when I was doxxed medically. I was medically doxxed on YouTube. And I don't have to pull that shit back out to prove shit to a goddamn troll or to another YouTuber. But my shit was out there. And Kevin Leroy knew every fucking thing. He still knows every fucking thing to this day. If you don't remember what my medical doc said, or if you weren't around to see it back then, your loss. Your loss. Not mine. Yours. Exactly, Troll Father. Two of the biggest sector lies. Never lie and never lose. This shit is funny to me. That's why I laugh at this shit. Because a lot of the trolls that are here now weren't here back then. And they come in the middle of the fuck shit and don't even really know the backstory or what happened. No, somebody had my medical documentation. I was behind the scenes. I was talking to somebody, and I sent them pictures. I sent them. I sent it to somebody. I did. I sent my own medical documentation to somebody that I was dealing with behind the scene. That person was not the trustworthy person that I thought they were. Back then, I was new to the sector. You have to understand, every YouTuber, every content creator, when we come on the scene and we're brand new, we haven't learned shit yet. We have not learned shit yet. So sometimes whenever you think a person is a trustworthy person, you learn later on down the road that you never should have trusted that fucking person. But it's too late because you're naive and you're stupid and you don't know the rules of the game. So I thought that that person was a trustworthy person and it turned out that they weren't and they doxed me. Am I lying, Troll Father? Am I lying? You were here. At the time, Cheeseburger Callie, I didn't even realize I was doxing myself. Am I excusing myself? No. I'm like punishing myself for even trusting that person. I made a rookie mistake when I was a rookie and I trusted somebody. You know what, Ron C? I really, mm, no, he's not a different person in real life. Clearly, he's not a different person in real life. Exactly, Troll. See, Troll Father was here for all of that. Troll Father was here, and I even think that Troll Father you emailed me at that time. Yes, we talked about that, Troll Father, and you're the one that told me do not trust people in the sector. Yeah, I made a rookie mistake, and I learned from that rookie mistake. I made a rookie mistake. I met, like I didn't really meet them, but like I started talking to them offline. I trusted them. I developed a trust with them. I thought that that person was better than what they were, and it turned out that they weren't. And that was the first time I was ever doxxed. I was like, oh my God, I can't fucking believe this person. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? And then I learned that it's the name of the game. I'm not digging a deeper hole by being honest. How do you dig a deeper hole when you're honest? Really? And you know why? You know why that troll is pressed? Because that troll just got proved wrong. That's why. People don't like to be wrong. I love people who think that they know everything, like Joy Kinay. When Joy Kinay goes live, she thinks she knows everything about everybody. Like she's done her homework, she's done her research. You're a rookie. You're a rookie. You don't know what you think you know. And then you change the narrative of every situation to fit a narrative that you create. Stop it. Stop it. You haven't been around long enough to really truly know any truth. When you try to break down logic and truth, you cannot because you haven't been here long enough. It might be him. He's got, listen, even back whenever I was dealing with Kevin Leroy, he had a whole bunch of troll accounts, a whole bunch of troll accounts. So you never know who's who. But I can tell you now, like, I know a lot of people in this sector have multiple troll accounts. I don't have any troll accounts. You know why? Because I'm just me. And I have no problem saying whatever the fuck is on my mind. Anybody can bleach and clean some white britches. Look, like I said, I'm a mother. I know how to get stains out like nobody's business. And at the age of 44, I would hope that you can get stains out. I've gotten out grass stains, wine stains, dirt stains from the boys' sports. It's not that difficult. It takes time, but it's not that difficult. Especially on something white. A little bit of seltzer water, a little bit of bleach, scrub, scrub, scrub. You got to scrub it really good. You got to scrub it a few times. Some OxyClean. You can shout it out. You can you can get stains out. It's not impossible. I've gotten out red wine stains, and people think it's impossible to get out a red wine stain. No, it's not. You hit a really good chord in me this morning, and others feel that way. Don't listen to Cheeseburger. I don't have troll accounts either, by the way. I'll tell someone how I feel, and I want them to see exactly. I want you to look at my face when I tell you how I feel. I'm not going to do it behind some fake ass avatar and a fake ass name. I want you to know it's me. I'm not going to troll nobody. I want you to know that it's me that's saying well, good. You go do that. That's the point, troll father. Lamar be in the middle of a troll pressure episode saying he's not under troll pressure, but yet he showed the white britches and he showed the pipe. It was funny. You know what? Let me tell you something. When I watched Lamar do that, because I didn't see it live, I watched the playback and I thought, oh my God, the king of no troll pressure, the king of the sector, the king of the sector is showing his white britches in a pipe. No, listen, knowing this sector and the way that it is, why would you want to be the king? Why would you want to call yourself the king of fuckery, the king of foolery, the king of lies, the king of shenanigans, the king? Why would you want to claim that throne? Exactly, Franny. Exactly. Okay, I'm sorry. Cheeseburger. Come on. I'm sorry. You want us to separate the words. My bad. I'll remember that cheeseburger. I mean, seriously, why would anyone want to claim the throne of this sector? Right, exactly, Franny. Accept my apologies. Dude, okay. So, public announcement for everyone in the chat. Please do not call this man or woman cheeseburger. Call him cheeseburger. There's a space in there for a reason. We got it. Thanks. Thanks for the memo. when Lamar called me the roast queen, you think that did something for me? You think that tickled my fancy? No. I wouldn't even want a title of king, queen, nothing in this sector. Nothing. Stop it. Stop with the titles. There's no entitlement in this sector. None. There's no king, there's no queen, there's no princess, there's no none of that shit. We're not throne worthy. We are garbage. Every one of us, including myself. This is the garbage sector. Dude made an ultra cringe video with a young girl asking her, "Did I touch you?" Troll Father got that video. This was when Big C said he touched Michelle's daughter. Listen, okay? I'm not down for the whole child touching, child sexery shit. That shit is disgusting to me. But I honestly don't believe that man touched any child. Just like I don't believe that Michael Jackson touched any child. And it's funny. Hold on. Hold on, Lamar. Let's talk about that for a second. Holy fuck. Let's talk about that for a second. It is Black Sector Wanderer. Yes, it is. Let's talk about that child sex free child touching for a second. Now, LA. Hold on a second, homie. I do not, and I will not ever believe that you have touched a child. So let me make that clear. But you say yourself that you and RGR, your team, is not down for child sex free and child touching. So let me ask you this, LA. If that's true, I'm going to put you on the spot, homie. If that's true, if you and your team RGR is not down for child sex free and child touching, then why is it then when I do physicals for sports, because remember, I'm a nurse, and when I do physicals for sports, I do not, I do not check the genitals of any child. It is basic physical. It is heart. It is lung sounds. It is muscles. It is movement. It's duck walk. It's a range of motion. It has nothing to do with genitals whatsoever. It's any type of heart murmur, heart palpitation, any type of asthma, any type of wheezing. It's clear lung sounds. It has nothing to do with genitals whatsoever. So if you and RGR are down with no child sexery, then why the fuck does your trolls, your main troll, Tracy, accuse me of child sexery when I do physicals on children for sports? Answer that. Because you said that RGR and yourself is not down for that shit. So why does your main troll, your main gun shooter, why does she get off with accusing me of that kind of bullshit when I do physicals for sports? Because she just did it this morning. She just did it this morning in someone else's chat. So, Tracy, I know you're listening, you crippled bitch. I know you're listening. Why don't you answer that question, you mountain mouth hoe? Got the mouth of jagged edge. No, Big Logic, you do not. You do not. There is there is actually, now here's the deal. If you find when you're doing a physical, okay, remember, we do not check genitals. We do not do that. And it's not just me, it's a group of us. There's a group of nurses that do this. We check vital signs, we check heart sounds, we check lung sounds, and we check range of motion. We make sure that there's no bone deformities. We can't feel any bone deformities. We make sure that they can bend their knees, they can duck walk, they can move their shoulders, they can move their arms, they can tilt their neck side to side with no pain. It has nothing to do with anything like that. Okay. Now, if we find anything in our assessment then yes, we forward them on to a nurse practitioner or an orthopedic doctor. It's an actual company. It's an actual company that I do side work for when I do these. Okay. I'm not doing this out of the kindness of my own heart. I'm not doing this because I think I can. I actually am contracted with a company during sports season. I get paid for doing this. I make money. They pay me for this. And I'm not going to say the name of the company because I'd be doxing a job. It's not that difficult. It takes maybe 10 minutes, maybe 15. And when we do this, we set up either in a church or in a school. Okay? We set up stations in a church or in a school. And there's a nurse practitioner and there's not a doctor. Let me not say that because we do not have a doctor on site, but we do have a nurse practitioner on site. So where if we find anything in our assessment, we send them. No, I cannot write a prescription. No, I cannot write prescriptions. So what happens is we have different stations. One nurse will check a blood pressure and a pulse. Another nurse will listen for the lung sounds. Another nurse will listen to the heart. Another nurse will check range of motion. And if we find any deformities, if we have anything questionable, then we send them over to the nurse practitioner. Now, there have been some children that I have come across with asthma. If they do not have an asthma action plan, then we send them over to the nurse practitioner. The only people in medicine that can write a prescription is a nurse practitioner, a physician's assistant, or a doctor. Now, what I can do legally is if we have a patient and they're discharging, after the doctor writes the orders, okay, they all have to be prescriber written and approved. Yes, that's what I said. A PA is a physician assistant. A physician assistant, a nurse practitioner, and a medical doctor or a DO can write prescriptions. Nurses cannot. But what I can do legally is once a physician writes an order or once a physician writes a prescription, I can call the patient's local pharmacy. I can call those prescriptions into a pharmacy. But I cannot write a prescription, no. But I can call prescriptions into pharmacies, yes. But after I call them in, then the doctor e-scripts. The doctor will go online into e-script and will put the prescriptions in online. But to get a patient started after discharge so that they have their medications when they go home, yes, we can call them into their local pharmacy. So again, my question is to RGR and to Lamar. If you are not down with the child sex shit, then why does your top RGR accuse me of that bullshit when she found out that I have a side job during sports seasons when I help with physicals? That I get paid for. I get paid. I don't do it for free. We are not a nonprofit organization. We get paid by the organizations that we're doing the physicals for. The organization that hires us to do the physicals, we set up in the basement of a church or we set up in the gym of a school, whether it be an elementary school, a junior high school, a high school, it doesn't matter. They tell us the location to go to. We take our equipment and that's where we go. And the organization that hires us pays the company and the company pays us. So it's not something that I do for free. I don't do anything in my free time for free. because I don't have that much of it. And I've been doing this with this company for at least 10 years. I've been working with this company for at least 10 years. Matter of fact, if they are allowed to do sports this season, this will be my 11th year. So that's all I want. I want an answer to that question. I'm glad y'all brought up the child stuff. Because just this morning in another chat, your top troll came at me on that bullshit. So I want answers. But we went way off the topic of what I even started this for. But I don't really think I even need to speak on Talia anymore. I think that the men of the sector know what they need to do to protect themselves because that's what they have to do now. Now they have to protect themselves. Exactly, Franny Cat. Once she found out that I did that, once she found out that I actually work with a team, that I work with a team, but apparently she missed that. She turned it into some child sexery bullshit. Yeah, don't worry about the trolls. Don't worry about other trolls. I think that sometimes they just try to get an understanding too. Troll Father says he loves the medical field and kind of misses working in the hospital. Oh my goodness. Listen, I love the medical field too. That's why I went into it. That's why I went into the medical field. But you work really hard to get your license when you go to school. But when you start working in the field, you work even harder to keep it. It's definitely harder to keep your license than it is to get it. And sometimes, like, I wonder how much even more longer I want to be doing this. Yes, Black Sector Wanderer, I do. I think she has some form. I think she has some form of autism. Something definitely isn't right. Whether if it's autism or something else, something definitely isn't right. The only thing that because I can't diagnose, I cannot diagnose anyone. I can give my opinion, but the only way to truly know is that she would need to go to a psychiatrist. But I can't sit here and diagnose the girl. Only a doctor can diagnose somebody. But I definitely think that there's a few screws loose. She is a chicken nugget short of a happy meal, that's for sure. Oh, her aunt said it. So it was confirmed that that is her diagnosis. Um, no, she's not all there. I mean, we can all see that. We can all see that there's definitely some delayed thing going on there. She lacks impulse control and she's an idiot. Well, let me tell you, there is there's another type of autism. It's called Asperger's. And Asperger's is a form of autism. It's just not as severe as being autistic. And it might even be, now remember, I cannot diagnose, but it could possibly be that she has Asperger's because people with Asperger's tend to lack impulse control. People with Asperger's tend to not be able to connect with reality, and people with Asperger's get fantasy and reality confused at times, not always, but at times. But Asperger's is a form of autism, and it could be very possible that that's what it is it's Asperger's. Her aunt said sorry, but she's autistic. Talia was pissed. Oh, she claims they were talking about her sister and not her. Well, yeah. But there's definitely some type of mental delay going on. Rhonda, I think it's more than just being a dumb bitch. But with people that have like some type of a mental defect where they lack the ability for impulse control, they speak before they think. The fucked up problem, the fucked up part is that we all know she's slow and problematic, but people can't stop themselves. I'm not saying that word, so I'm changing it to people. But people can't stop themselves here to either go at her or try to put her G string down. Try to put her G string down or pull. Well, here's the problem with that fuckery. Okay. It's kind of like what Jimmy said this morning, and I had to agree with Jimmy because the majority of the men in this sector that have dealt with her have children, whether it be a son, whether it be a daughter, but they have a child her age. So if you could even consider, which I did actually bring this up to Mike Mills once, if you would consider pulling down her G string at her age, you have a child her age. So that has to make you feel some type of disgusting way. Like I have two daughters that are 22 and 21, okay? I could never in my life could I ever consider dating someone that is the same age as my daughters. That's what's up, Troll Father. That's what's up. Group homes for people like her or group homes for mentally handicapped are definitely needed in this country. I do not think that we have enough. I want to start a new business selling max exemption medical cards. Troll Father, that is a very noble thing because, like I said, there are not enough. There are not enough assisted livings. There are not enough group homes. There are not enough facilities for people with mental disability or mental illness. In fact, let me tell you, in this country, we treat our mentally ill in the worst way. In the worst way, we do our mentally ill. And it's disgusting and pathetic. And you know why? Because Department of Mental Health, they do not pay enough. That's the problem. Like here in Missouri, the Department of Mental Health will only pay a group home or an assisted living designed for mentally ill. They will only pay them $1,000 a month to care for that mentally ill patient. And the cost of caring for that patient by far outweighs $1,000 a month. When you break down the cost of their medications, when you break down their meals, their room and board, their utilities, whatever, if they provide cable, if they provide a phone service, the cost of caring for a mentally ill patient or any patient for that matter is more than $1,000 a month. But the Department of Mental Health will only pay $1,000 a month to care for that person. And that's why so many here in my state, so many developmentally delayed and mental ill facilities have shut down because they could not afford to continue to care for these people when the state was not giving them enough money. So, yes, absolutely. I commend you, Troll Father, for doing something that noble. You're right, Des. Everything is underfunded. You're right. You're right. Listen, the VA, I can't speak for all VAs, but I can speak for the VA here in Kansas City. They bring those guys like in and out, in and out. Like they see, I can't even tell you how many patients a day the VA sees in the clinic. Okay. But it's a quick in and a quick out. And we treat our veterans like shit. We treat our veterans like shit. They do not get good quality care. Our veterans, our elderly, and our mentally disabled do not get good quality care. Yes, Franny, she is. You're right, Des, because let me tell you, there was a facility here in Kansas City. Okay. It was like an assisted living facility, and it housed 95. It housed 95 mentally ill patients, from bipolar disorder to schizophrenia to multiple personality disorders, um, any mental illness you could think of, autism. It housed 95 patients. Okay. Well, because DMH, Department of Mental Health, was only paying $1,000 per person to be in that facility. So basically, what, 95 times 1,000 is what, 9,005? I don't know. Fuck it. I'm not even doing the math right now. But because DMH was only paying $1,000 per patient, that facility had to shut down because they could not afford to pay their bank mortgage, the utilities, the housing, the meals, the staff. You got to think they got to pay all of that. They got to pay their staff, they got to pay for the meals, they got to pay for all ancillary services, they got to pay for medications, they got to pay for transportation, they got to pay for all of that. And because they could not afford to do it any longer, they closed it down and they released 95 mental health patients to the community. But it's sad, but that's the way that it goes. I'm in Brownsville scrap with my super soaker. Stop making fun of Trevor. Yeah, that's I know. I don't mind talking about this kind of stuff. I see it every day. You know, the police. The police bring people in. They'll bring in mentally ill patients that are out in the community, um, that are acting a fool. And they bring them in for a psych stay. And on a psych stay, they hold them for 72 hours. They medicate them. Let's keep it real. So when a psych patient comes in to the ER, okay, they're usually handcuffed, they're usually restrained. They will restrain them. Typically they'll come in by an ambulance where their gauze tied to the gurney. You know, they're yelling, they're screaming, they're spitting, they're trying to hit, they're trying to kick, they're cussing you out. You're every kind of bitch in the book. You're every kind of white bitch. You're every kind of other word bitch. You're every kind of bitch. You're every kind of whatever. Your derogatory names, your racist names, your all this stuff, right? By these psych patients. They bring them in. The first thing they do is they shoot them up to calm them down. Once they put them to sleep, literally, once they knock their ass out, then they get sent to the psych unit where they get a 72-hour hold where they're heavily medicated for 72 hours. But once they're released from the psych ward, they're not medicated anymore and they're back out on the street acting a whole ass fool like they were the day they came into the ER. That's all they do. They medicate them for 72 hours and then they release them. I worked psych for many years. I did. Many years I worked psych. Oh my god. Oh my, I've seen staff getting beat up. DMH is a bit, you're right. DMH is a bitch to deal with. They don't want to pay even though they say this is what they're going to pay. It's hell getting the money out of them. Then you have to have DMH surveys, DMH contracts. It's a pain in the ass. And that's why people don't want to deal with it. People don't want to deal with DMH. They don't because they're a pain in the ass. And everything that goes wrong when a mental patient goes crazy, then it's on the facility. They did something wrong. Yeah, it's not an easy field. Psych is not easy. It's not easy at all. I have seen nurses get slammed up against walls. I worked with a female nurse. Oh my God, she was smaller than Kevin Leroy. No joke. She was she was kind of older. She was probably in her like mid 50s. She was probably, I would say, maybe 5'2", 5'3", weighed 100 pounds soaking wet. Okay. This nurse weighed 100 pounds soaking wet. She was a little itty bitty, teeny tiny little thing. I seen a patient pick her up and slam her down and break her back. And after that, she could never work again. I've seen a lot of shit in psych. You become immune to reality because you've seen it so many times. Yes, you do. You do. To me, like when I worked psych, it was almost like a revolving door. She was Des. She was tiny. She was teeny, teeny, tiny. Psych was like a revolving door. Typically, we would see the same patients over and over and over and over. No, you cannot. You cannot touch them. You cannot. You can be sued. You can be sued unless if you have a doctor's order to restrain. And that could be a chemical restraint or that could be a physical restraint. You have to have a doctor's order. So by the time you get the order to restrain a patient, it's too late. The damage is done. There is nothing to protect us. There's nothing to protect us. Nothing. You have to get a doctor's order to restrain a patient, chemically or physically. And by the time you get that doctor on the line, it's too late. My family used to beg me to stop working psych. My family used to beg me to stop working psych. Do you know that even I don't know, Cherie baby is a paramedic, so she could answer this in her state. But I know that in my state, before they can even gauze tie, they have to call into a hospital. That's terrible. That's terrible, troll father. That is horrible. Yeah, and you know what's sad, Des, is no matter how crazy they are, they know their rights. If they know anything for reality, it's their rights. And trust me, they remind you of those rights every fucking day. Hold on, I don't know who Latanya is. Hmm. Yes, yes, you have to go through a whole bunch of shit. If they even if they lie on you, you have to go. You're suspended for investigation. If the investigation proves unfounded or untrue, then you're brought back from suspension with pay. But if it's founded to be true, then you go before the board, possibly court or jail. They do, troll father. I'm telling you what, you can have the craziest of loons. You can have the craziest of loons who does not make any goddamn sense. They will sit there and have a conversation. You think they're on a whole other fucking planet, but they will start spitting out their patient rights like nobody's business. Like, where the fuck did you come up with that? Yeah, you're talking about killing aliens on Mars, but all of a sudden you know you have the right to refuse. What? I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I mean, they could be giving you. I had this one psych patient. She was like, "Yeah, I got ran over by a train, and the train chopped off my head. So they brought me here. This is true story. True story. True story. Now, of course, I'm not going to give the patient's name. Ever will I ever give anybody's name. But this is a true story. I got ran over by a train. I got my head chopped off. So the ambulance came and picked me up from the train tracks. And like they brought me in and they sewed my head back on. And then my husband died. But when my husband died, I asked them if I could keep the penis. No, this is what she was telling the police. Okay. This was what she was telling the police. And she's like, and I don't think that they would let me keep the penis. So, like, if you have a penis that I could borrow, and the police officer was sitting there like, what in the fuck? What in the fuck? Now, this is when I did psych team. This is when I was out in the field, okay? I wasn't stationed on a psych unit. I was actually working in the field. So when the police would come across psych patients before they would bring them in, they would call the team out and we would assess them right then and there on the streets. We would assess them right then and there on the street with police and paramedics. I did psych team. I loved psych team. That shit was the bomb. But anyway, and so we're standing there and we're listening to her, and clearly in my head, I know she's off her rocker. So the officer looks at me and he's like, "What are you thinking?" I'm like, "I'm thinking she's fucking crazy. What do you mean? What am I thinking?" So I talk to her and I'm like, "Hey, how about if I give you this shot?" And she's like, "Oh no, no, no. I have the right to refuse. I have the right to refuse treatment. I have the right to not go with the police. I have the right to not talk to you." And I'm like, "What the fuck?" For a bitch with no head, you sure do know your rights. Yeah, I used to love psych team. I think that was my favorite. Psych team was definitely my favorite. I loved being out in the field. I loved it. I loved it. And the only volunteer work that I did as a nurse, I did do volunteer. I volunteered for a long time. I've gotten older, I've gotten older. I've gotten more seasoned in my career. I've gotten older. I just don't have it in me to work as many hours as I work and still volunteer. But I used to volunteer a lot for the battered women's shelter. And when I was on call, I would get paged and they would say, "Hey, we have one at this hospital in the ER. Go talk to her." And my job was to go and assess along with the ER and speak to the female and try to get her to either commit to counseling or commit to the center for a safe place to stay. So I have done volunteer work. I put in my time, I put in my time. I've been in this field for a very long time. I've done so many different things in this field. And sometimes I just feel like I'm burnt out. I'm burnt out. So, but this is all so off topic of the title of my show. But see what happens? Like we get to talking about real life and shit changes. I work with nurses now that are damn near in their 70s. And I'm like, how are you still going? And you know what the sad part is that they tell me? I have to keep working because retirement and Social Security is not enough. A fixed income will not support me. Good morning, Caramel Mocha. And it's sad. Like, literally, one of the nurses that I work with, she's like 70, 71, but she can't afford to retire because Social Security and a fixed income won't support her. I don't want to be in my 70s still working as a nurse. I mean, yeah, I've got 401k. My 401k over the years has really built up. So I've got 401k, I'll have plenty of paid in money to Social Security and Medicare, but can we get back to cooking the deadlift one? Sure. What do you want to say about her? What more can you say about her? Like, like I said, I just think that like back when Mike Mills turned on me for this bitch, everything I have said has come into fruition. Everything I have said about this young lady has come into fruition. So I think, like, for me, I'm just going to kind of sit back and enjoy the fuckery. I don't enjoy what she's doing to these men. I don't co-sign what she's doing to these men. Oh, Carmel Mocha, you've missed it. She's called the police on everybody. She called the police on Mike Mills. She called the police on Jimmy. She's put out all of Mike Mills's information, his phone number. Um, she's put out Jimmy's information. She's trying to say that Jimmy put out revenge porn. She actually called, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, she called the police department in Jimmy's hometown. I don't want to know, Black Sector. I do not want to know. I noticed that Jalen McCaster acts normal. Yeah, she's playing a dangerous game. She's playing a dangerous game with some men that she probably, especially one dangerous man that she probably doesn't want to play that game with. I don't know, Franny. I don't know if Mike regrets it, and I really don't care. What's done is done. I don't care if he regrets it or not. You reap what you sow. I wasn't talking shit and pointing out facts about this bitch out of jealousy whatsoever. I was doing it because I was calling a spade a spade. I don't co-sign at all what she's doing to these men. I don't approve of it. I think it's wrong. I think it's foul. I think it's some fuck shit. But at the same time, like, I sit back and look at Mike Mills and think, yeah, now what? What you gonna do now? You know, is what it is, folks. But that's what keeps this sector smoking. That's what keeps you guys entertained. Mike's a little off. Yes, Des, he is. You followed Mike for a long time. It just, the only part that I laugh at now, I don't laugh at all about what this bitch has done. The only part that I laugh out now is like, I tried, you know? I tried and I got turned on for it. So karma always has a way of circling the block. A fucking men. A fucking men. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Oh, trust me. I always see the humor. I always look at the humorous side. I don't look at the glass as half empty. Troll father thinks right, right, troll father. They have, yes, they are living in group homes with internet privileges. Yeah, he's off. We're all off. Come on, look at what we do. You can't think that, listen, even me, even me, you can't possibly look at us and think that we're normal. You can't possibly look at us and think that we're normal. Look at this shit that we do. Normal people don't do this shit. She clearly mentally and can't handle this. Exactly, D Dame. Yes, she is mental and cannot handle this shit. It takes a lot. This takes a lot. It takes a lot to do this fuck shit. It does. It takes a lot out of you. Like I said, and I'm going to say it a million times, the only person that is in this sector that actually exhausted me going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth was LA. Freddie Cat, you think I'm normal? Well, I'm going to tell you what, normal people don't do this. This place is an actual break from real life for me. Yeah, me too. Sometimes you need that break from real life. But I'll talk about real life, you know? I mean, that's possible. Sometimes a traumatic thing can cause, well, PTSD, post traumatic stress disorder, and that can sometimes something traumatic happening in your life can make you snap, whether it be the sudden death of someone that you love very much, whether if it be something that has happened to you personally, whether if it be you're a soldier who's gone to war. There's different things in life that can cause PTSD, and that will make you act a little off. I mean, fuck, he's clearly a little off because he thinks he's god of the sector. He thinks he created this. And I think that everybody knows that this shit was started prior to his arrival. So yeah, there's something a little off there. Same, Carmel, same. When I'm at work and I can't click a link or I can't do my own stream, it is entertainment. It helps. Sometimes it helps me get away from the bullshit that I'm facing at work. Sometimes it gives me a good laugh, while I'm working. Sometimes I be listening to shit with my headphones at work and don't even nobody know that I'm sitting there listening because I don't type in the chat. Exactly, D Dame. You're right. No, I don't know that. I don't personally know that because I was not here when the sector was created. I was not. I was not. I came in a few years later. However, I've been told the history of this sector many times by many people. And I know that the beginning founding fathers of this sector of YouTube did not include his name. That's why, like, he has to be a little off to think that he found this sector, that he created this sector. When he says, "This is my sector." No, it's not. It was never your sector. Wife, work, kids, coffee, beer sector. Right. I'm telling you, this shit is better than TV. It really is. This shit is better than TV. I don't even know how much, you know what? I don't even know how much my cable bill is. I'm going to keep it real. Like 150, 160 a month, something like that. Everything comes directly out of my checking account. So I'm so busy a lot of times that I don't have time to sit and look at the bills. I just have it come directly out of my checking account. But I pay a lot of money for my bills, and I don't even watch cable. I don't even listen. Even whenever I come home from work, I don't even turn the cable on. Hi. My only question is this, okay? Somebody riddle me this, because hold on, the bum thinks everyone is dumb or has a short memory. That's why he keeps saying he made this. He's really trying to convince new people who started watching this mess that he made this. But there are so many people that are still involved in this sector that know the truth. But here's riddle me this though. Here's what I want to know. Because Lamar says he was here first. Mike Mills says he was here before Lamar. Trollfather, the Black Sector Wanderer, D Dame, you guys have been here forever and a day. Tell me, who was here first? Lamar or Mike Mills? Let's straighten that shit out right now. Because Mike Mills says it was him. Lamar says it was him. I want to know, who was it? I'm going to let the people speak. Because I honestly don't know. Jay Hoskins says Lamar. Okay. Trollfather, what's your take? Who was here first, Lamar or Mike? Lamar was here first. Okay. There's D Dame. Right. I know it started with TRS. I get that. But I'm talking between Mike Mills and LA. Because Mike Mills says he was here before LA. LA says he was here before Mike. But I got Jay Hoskins and D Dame. Des, you're saying LA? Okay, so there's three LAs. Trollfather's got to think. Right. I know Lamar was not the first one here. I know he was not the first one here. But he was here before Mike. So my question is not, was Lamar one of the founding fathers? My question is, who was here first, Mike or Lamar? D Dame says Lamar. Jay Hoskins says Lamar. Deslonic says Lamar. I mean, I asked four people, and three out of four say Lamar. I think Lamar wins it. Because LA did say that he was here before Mike. And Mike turned around and said, I was here before LA. Troll father, Lamar. Yep. Yep. Oh, the Black Sector Wanderer, Lamar. Yep. There we have it. Jay Hoskins says I met Mike Mills through Lamar. Okay, there you have it. There's the answer, folks. So we can put that baby to rest. Lamar was here before Mike Mills. And see, that's the funny thing is that even though I wasn't here when the sector first got created, I had a feeling that LA was here before Mike. Mike Mills told me once he found me through LA. Yeah. Okay, there you have it. Mike was here, but I don't know if he was a part of the sector. Think Lamar and Mike were friends when they first came. I think so too because I remember when I first came onto Mike's BTR show in 2015, LA would come on there too. See, that's what happened. That's what started me in LA beefing for 5 years because LA would come onto Mike's BTR show and he would talk shit to me. And I'm like, hold up, dude, you don't fucking know me. Right. Right, Des. Even though you don't fuck with LA was here before Mike. Right. Well, we just put that baby to rest. So, I don't know. All right, guys. I am going to go and run some errands today since I actually have some free time. I get to go do some things before my son's graduation tonight. So it's only like 9:30 in the morning, so I'm doing good on time because most of the stores open up around here around 9. So I'm gonna head out of here and go get some stuff done. Jay Hoskins says, but Mike Mills has always been annoying. Jafar, I don't care about those. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. Thank you, Franny. You too. Bye, Rhonda. Bye, Rhonda. Jafar, really, that shit is no. Listen, listen. I don't care what anybody in this sector feeds off of or believes when it comes to his stupid ass rape allegations. Okay. The only person besides myself and even fucking LA that knows the truth, the only other person involved in that situation that knows the truth is the only opinion that matters to me. The sector started from a bunch of people going at Tommy. Then the dust settled and everyone started going at each other, right? You've always disliked Mike. I'm going to call him Mike. I'm not going to call him that word. You can, I mean, if you type that word, you type that word because that's how you feel, but I'm not going to use that word. I'll just call him Mike. All right. You guys have. I sure will. I sure will, Des. I sure will tell him congratulations. He's pretty proud of himself. I'm pretty proud of him too. He's like my shining star. You know, he's played football since he was 5 years old. Um, both of my boys started football at the age of 5, and he stuck with it from 5 and up until college. You know, he's going to college playing football. So when he got into high school and he was a freshman, he was the quarterback. He was the quarterback for the freshman team of his high school. He was the quarterback for his football team all through high school. He was the freshman quarterback, the JV quarterback, the varsity quarterback. He's lettered. He's lettered in football 3 times. He's lettered in baseball 3 times. He's lettered in academics. I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of him. My son is the bomb.com. Oh my God, that kid eats, breathes, and sleeps football. I swear to God. Baseball, I mean, he played baseball for something to do. He really wasn't all that much in. He did pitch. He pitched for a while in baseball, but he really wasn't like into baseball like he was the football. He played baseball as a backup sport for something to do because he always had to stay active and he always had to stay involved in something. He was the homecoming king. His senior year, he was homecoming king. His freshman year of high school, he was the homecoming prince. Can he roast though? Jack Jacksonville. He roasts me all the fucking time. My son roasts me all the fucking time. But he does it playfully. I'm mom. I'm mom. I also get text messages him every day. My son, when I'm at work, my 18-year-old will text me every day, and he will tell me, he'll be like, Mama, I just want to start your day off letting you know how much I love you. You're my rock. You're my strength. You're my hero. And I just appreciate everything you've done for me throughout life. Every day I get that text message from my baby. He always starts by, as soon as he wakes up, as soon as the little eyes open up, the first thing he does is he texts me. And he tells me how much he loves me, how much he appreciates me, how I'm his rock, his strength, his hero. And that means something. That means something, you know? I hope I always get those text messages, even as it becomes an adult. But no, my son does. My son will roast with me. He'll roast back and forth with me. He cracks me up. Absolutely does. Like, I am very proud of my sons, both of my sons, even my 16-year-old. My 16-year-old is a brat. Do not get me wrong. That child is a brat. My 16-year-old, he hates the word no. He hates the word no. Because he's a spoiled ass brat. He's had everything in life handed to him. I have spoiled the shit out of him. I've spoiled the shit out of all my kids. And, I created a monster with that 16-year-old. But at the end of the day, he loves me very much and he respects me. Wanderer, according to the bully, she is a friend. She is not my friend. That's another lie roast. That's another lie on Cat. Nikki and I are not friends. We've never been friends. I've been around Nikki 5, maybe 6 times. I have been around Nikki 5, maybe 6 times. And the 5, maybe 6 times that I've been around Nikki has been a short time. Nikki has not been my friend for no 8 years. I haven't even known Nikki like that. Listen, I'm going to say it again. Nikki and Tiffany were not even friends. They could not stand each other. They could not even be in the same room with each other when Tiffany and Aaron, which is Nikki's brother, were together. Nikki never hardly ever came around because her and Tiffany hated each other. It was not until after Tiffany and Aaron broke up that Nikki and Tiffany even became friends. It wasn't even that many years ago. That wasn't even that many years. Okay, that's how long you've been in this. I'm about to say, damn, Jafar. Now he's putting a timeline on it. And the funny part is, all he had to do was ask Tiffany if that shit was true. Nikki was drunk. She saw somebody she thought she had money, and she was trying to get a free bottle. Let me keep it 100. Let me keep it 100. She was a drunk bitch. She is a drunk bitch. She saw a potential sponsor. I just talked about sponsors, what, yesterday? The day before yesterday? I talked about sponsors. She saw a potential sponsor and she reached out trying to get one. I don't fuck with that chick like that. I've never hung around her like that. The one and only time, there was only one time that I was ever even in a car with Tiffany and Nikki together. And I'm not even going to go into the story of what happened that night because it's nobody's fucking business. But let's just say it did not end well. It did not end well at all. So to go off of the word of someone who does not know shit about my life is lying on me, is lie roasting me, the things that he claims he does not do. All right, y'all. I've had enough. I said I was going to get out of here, and that's what I'm doing. So, y'all, hang tough. Have a great day. Be safe.